Hello guys, this is May Park. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to use layered dies to create your own floral arrangement and use the sentiment to create your background. I'm also going to show you the order of the products from Altenew October 2018 stamp and die release. As usual, I'm going to include a close-up video of my craft desk after my project is done. This is the card I'm gonna make in today's video. As you can see here, I built up my own arrangement after die cutting florals, leaves, and other elements out of colored cardstock. And also I stamped some sentiments in diagonal to give some interest on the background. If you like my video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Are you guys ready? And let's get started. I'm going to create this floral arrangement card with a stamped background and layered diecuts. I'll be using the Playful Bloom stamp set and layered floral elements die set from Altenew. As you can see, I've used lots of die cuts for creating the card, and I'll share a few tips on how to make your die cutting process quick and easy. Before I start, I'm going to give you a quick overview of Altenew's October 2018 release products. If you don't want to watch, feel free to skip this part to jump on the card making process. Now I'm going to turn on some music and I'll be back soon. I used to do scrapbooking back in 2010 for about 2 years. That means I had collected lots of papers, which I don't use them anymore. So when I saw the layered floral elements die set, I immediately knew what I wanted to make with. It was a great opportunity to pull out the colored cardstock from my stash. After I chose the color combination inspired by the floral themed cover of my planner, I'm going to select my papers from my 6x6 paper pack collection. Since I'll be using the layered dies, I'm going to choose 2 or 3 shades for each color. I'll be cutting each cardstock into 3 inches by 6 inches using my T-Mart paper trimmer, as I'll be using Altenew Mini Blossom die cutting machine, which has a 3-inch wide opening. This step will help you save your time and paper, as you don't need to use the entire cardstock to die cut several images. I'm going to pull out some dies from the layered floral elements die set and place them on some colored cardstock. Then I'll be placing my cardstock and dies between cutting plates and running them through my Mini Blossom die cutting machine. I'm going to use a piercing tool through the holes to separate my die cuts from the dies. Make sure not to poke the holes hard, otherwise you will damage your die cuts by leaving some poke marks. I'll continue die cutting the images until I have enough die cuts in different shades. I'm using a couple of small plastic trays to store my dies and die cuts temporarily, and I'm also using a small jar as a trash can to hold the negative side of my die cuts. Using those trays will help you organize your die cutting process much easier and keep your desk clean and tidy while die cutting. Once my die cutting is done, I'm going to place my die cuts on a white palette and group the die cuts together based on the layers. Actually, it's the large watercolor palette from Altenew. I thought it's good to use as a background while I organize my die-cuts. Then I'm going to assemble my flowers and leaves using tonic nouveau crystal glaze. I'll be using a glue pen and tweezer when I assemble the tiny die-cuts. I will include a link to the assembly instruction of these dies on the description box below and my blog post. I'm mostly using a darker shade of die-cuts for the bottom layer and light shade of die-cuts for the top layer, but you can layer them the other way if you want to. These die-cut elements from the layered floral elements die set are perfect for creating beautiful cards with just few steps. The 3D effect created from the layering elements will give your project beautiful dimensions without adding bulk. You can create 3 large 3-layer flowers, 3 smaller 1-layer flowers, 3 2-layer leaves, 2 1-layer leaf branches, and 1 2-layer berry branch out of the die-cuts. This is the Monogram floral card I created a couple months ago. Today I'll be casing this design as I can't stop making a card using a mega alphabet die cut as a focal point of my card. I think using an initial letter of a recipient's name is a great way to personalize the card, while a big bold die cut can bring an attention to your card front. Basically, I'm going to stamp the sentiments on the background and arrange my floral elements around the mega alphabet die cut. Now it's time to do some stamping. I'll be using my original Misty stamping tool so I can stamp a few sentiments at once. If you don't have this tool, you could use a regular acrylic block or any other stamping positioners. I'm going to pull out 3 sentiment stamps from the Playful Blooms stamp set and place the stamps in diagonal on a piece of A2 size white cardstock. Then I'm going to ink up the stamps with Altenew Evening Grey ink and close the Misty door to stamp the sentiments onto my paper. Please note that I'll be stamping twice for each sentiment to get a solid and intense impression. Here I made a stamping mistake. I think the panel was moved when I tried to pick up the stamps with the Misty door. So I'm going to start over and continue stamping until I finish the entire background. I'm using my T-square ruler to stamp the sentiments in straight. When you create your own background using sentiments, make sure to have a similar gap between each sentiment and use a light shade of ink for stamping. That way you can create a subtle background while keeping people's attention to your focal images. I'm going to die cut the alphabet using Mega Alphabet S die out of black cardstock. Then I'll be die cutting an additional alphabet out of white foam. If you don't have this foam sheet, you could die cut several alphabets out of white cardstock and stack them together to make the letter thick. I'll be coloring the side of my die cut letter using a brush tip of Altenew Artist Marker Jet Black to match the color with my first die cut letter. Then I'll be attaching 2 die cut letters together. I'm going to mount my stamped panel on the A2 size white top folding card base using Altenew glue tape and attach my die cut letter on the card front using tonic nouveau crystal glaze. Now it's time to build the floral arrangement. You can start mounting your die cuts on the card front right away, but I recommend you take some time to play around with your images first to find the perfect placement for each element. It's always good to set the placement of your large images first to help you decide the placement for the rest of the images. Then just move and rotate your elements and see if they look good together. I'm going to mount my die cut elements to the top and bottom of my die cut letter using 3M foam tape to give some dimension, as I adhere some of the die cuts directly on the stamped panel to give some various dimension. I pulled out some sentiment leftovers from my previous projects and I placed them temporarily on my card front to help me choose the types of font, size, and color of my sentiment. I think I like the thin sentiment banner with gold hidden embossing on white cardstock. I'm prepping a piece of white cardstock with anti-static powder bag to prevent any stray powder from sticking to unwanted areas while hidden embossing. Then I'm going to stamp a couple of sentiments from Altenew's Needlework Motif stamp set with Altenew embossing ink and stamp them on the cardstock. While the ink is still wet, I'm going to sprinkle some Altenew antique gold embossing powder over the sentiments and tap the excess powder off my paper. Then I'll heat set my sentiments with a heat tool. Next, I'm going to trim my sentiments into a thin banner using a craft knife and ruler and mount the banner on the card front using thin foam tape to give some dimension. I'm using my T-square ruler to place my sentiment banner in straight. I wasn't sure if my card would look better with a sentiment banner or not. So I asked some of my craft friends, Yana Smakler and Yunsun Her, to see which one they like. I even asked my husband which kind he liked more. All of them said they loved the card without the sentiment banner on the card front. So I ended up taking off the sentiment banner from my card. It was a very hard decision for me to make because I love both versions. What do you think? Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you as well. I finished off my card by adding some white dust on some of the flowers using a white gel pen to give some interest on my flower diecuts. This is it for today. I hope this video tutorial inspires you to create a dimensional floral card using layered diecuts. If you enjoyed my video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't done it yet, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any new videos from me. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and I'd be happy to answer them for you. This video is part of Altenew October 2018 Stamp and Die Release Blog Hub. Make sure to visit my blog for more details and leave a comment on my blog hub post for a chance to win a $30 gift certificate to Altenew online store. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time with another video. Bye bye! Are you guys ready? And let's get started. Are you guys ready? And let's get started. 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 And are you guys ready? And let's get started.